Thanks for joining this very, very special online training titled The Power of Yi. So, okay, while waiting, wow, there's a lot of people joining here. And thanks for your support here because actually we expanded our registration capacity here to accommodate all of you here. So thank you for support. I know everyone are busy, right? You're busy preparing for your daily errands and also some other thing you need. Some of you might need to work at home. So many things happening, right? So I think it'll be good that we all set at one point here and figuring out, what is actually important here or not, right? I think it's very easy for all of us here to actually get into a panic mode, especially the whole sentiments going to that direction. But of course, also it will be a good time for us to think about, what we can do right now, right? So yes, we cannot control what is happening in the environment right now, but we can control how can we respond to this. So I would like to say that all of you here, the fact you're showing up here tells me that all of you here are willing to do something, right, to create a better future. To unleash the greatness within all of us here, not only to you and then to your family. So let's see here. I'm looking at the chat box right now. So hi, so many of you here and all of you here logged in from different country. So I would like to start this with greet all of you here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are right now. Thanks for joining on this special training. Okay, let me tell you that the reason I do this webinar here, because recently I received a lot of posts, or requests from students, asking about, is it possible for us to do a webinar or what we call online training? So if you notice, I might use the name webinar and online training. Basically, it's the same, right? Because some people, they might not know what a webinar is. So I'll use the term online training here so everyone we actually can understand here. So hi Sandra, Julio here. So some of you are very new to this software, this webinar Gem software. So how do you able to communicate with me here is through the right hand side. There's a comment box here. You can actually type in your comment here because I don't have any script here. I just talk to you based on what I think is important right now, and I will try to make this as spontaneous as possible. So at any point of time, I might pause a little while and then ask, maybe some of you have question. You can pose it there, and then I'll actually go to pick some of the interesting question that I think that is beneficial to everyone. I'm going to answer it live here as well. Okay. All right. Wow. We have so many people keep joining in. Thank you. Thank you for this. So now let's start this without wasting time further here. So today we're going to talk about very special topic. It's called Yi Jing. Some of you heard about this before. Some of you didn't. So, and if you are very new to this and you ask, is it this webinar? Is it right for me? Let me rest assure you, I want to actually talk to you as if like you are totally beginner in Yi Jing, right? So, and why I tell you this is very important because there are so many topics. I can talk about, but out of so many subjects, I chose Yi Jing. There's a very, very special reason to it, simply because I think now we are in a situation where the fear spread across globally. And then what we need right now is not more information, right? I think that every day that we actually the social media bombarded us with so many different sources of information, different angle, different perspective, right? So we are living in a digital age where we are overcrowded with information, but we actually are craving for wisdom. Don't you think so? Right? So think about this. Whenever we need information right now, we just can go to our internet and then we just type or search on Google, and then there's so many information coming up, right? But the thing here is the more information coming up, then we get confused. We don't know what to do. So therefore, why I choose this topic, Yi Jing, is because Yi Jing a lot got to do with is not about information, but rather on the wisdom side of things. Okay, so let me just bring out the slide here to show you what the team had prepared here. So let's see this. Okay, all right. So let me navigate the slide right now. Okay, yeah, so this is the word here. Some of you are very new. Yeah, you know what we are talking about today. Today we're only talking about one subject, one at a time. Of course, I'm going to do more webinar in the future. Yeah, and today we're going to talk about Yi Jing, right? So on the screen right now, I already display on, and you're going to see on the screen right now is the word Yi Jing, right? So, and some of you asking what is this Yi Jing is all about. Yeah, Yi Jing is a subject, is a subject of Chinese metaphysics. I would say that is the father of Chinese metaphysics. I bet some of you here, you learned Bazi before, you learned Feng Shui before, you learned Chumin Dunjia, right? And if you ask what is actually been the starting of all this, what is the root? Where are this information coming from? Right, some of you are very curious about a certain feng shui formula, a certain Bazi formula, or different perspective of seeing energy. Where are this information coming from? Yeah, all of these are things that we learn and we apply on daily basis. They're always a root. So when we learn Yi Jing, we're actually studying the root of Chinese metaphysics. You know, therefore that a lot of people, especially our student, the reason they learn Yi Jing because it's able to connect all the dots. Yeah, but what if you're a beginner, right? You're a beginner, then what can you benefit from this? Let me tell you, there are so many ways you can benefit from this, right? Which you're going to find out actually by the end of this online training here. So this online training here will be roughly around 1 hour or more. Depends on you may have question. I might extend it a little bit longer here. Are you okay with that? If I extend a little bit longer? Yeah. Okay, let me see the chat box here. All right. Okay. So yeah, I might extend a little bit longer. Depends on your participant all the participant going to a little bit background about Yi Jing here. Like some of you just joining here, let me just summarize this for you. Yeah, Yi Jing is the father of Chinese metaphysics. It's a rock foundation is if your question asks, a lot of people ask a question like, why me, right? Why I'm born here? Why this thing happens to me? Why I have a clash in my chart? So the moment you ask all this why question, derive instructor. So we meet with people from different walks of life, and we actually discover that you hold a little bit. The connection is not good, is it? I notice a lot of people telling them the connection is not good. Yeah. So okay, hold on. Yeah, some of I actually while I'm talking to you, I'm looking at the comments. So some of you mentioned there are no sound and then there are no connection. So can you check on that? Okay. Yeah, check on that. Check on that side. Okay. So now, sorry for that minor disruption there. So how about now? Is it the line is good now? Yeah, so Dennis Lee mentioned all staying at home. That's why they take a lot of bandwidth. Okay, so hold on. Yeah, so don't worry. I'm going to stay here until the connection working back again. Yeah, because I appreciate all your effort to tuning up to this online training right now. So give them a moment here. They're actually fixing the connection right now. Yeah, so some of you here discover that try. Okay, some of you here, I would say that try to click the reconnect button, then, okay, now it's better now. All right, very good. Okay, seems like the problem is solved automatically. Okay, good. Okay, so some of you just joining in here. Yeah, I would like to welcome all of you here again. So for this webinar here. So let's get things started here. Yeah, just now I talking about all of us here. Yeah, in our life here, there are certain definition of happiness, right? So the reason people learn 八字, people learn Yi Jing, people learn Yi Jing and all those things here is because they want something, right? So they are not fall in love with the subjects, but actually they fall in love with the results. Like I meet with people from different country, different race, different needs, different profession. So all of them want different thing, right? So some of them they want wealth. Some of them, they want to create an extraordinary relationship. Some of them, they just want to have a fulfilling career, right? So all of them have a different needs here. So, which means that whenever someone say, they want to change their destiny, basically they want certain key results in their life. Right? So I want to take this opportunity today. I want to ask you one question here. What you really want in your life right now? Because all of you here, the reason you log into this webinar is because you want to achieve something great in your life, right? Or something that makes you happy eventually, right? So, and therefore we labor all these things here. We call this changing our destiny, right? But in the end, what we want here is just we want a certain key results we want in our life, So what would that be? Yeah, because as I show on the screen right now, everything we want, we label into a big, huge word called changing destiny, right? But in the end, if you want to break down the word destiny into bit size, so we are actually looking at achieving something that truly matters to us. So this is a part that we call results, right? So why we learn Yi Jing here? So from the start, let me make this clear here, is to help us to get the results that we desired in life. Right, so let me talk to you right now. Okay, so I want all of you here, to type on the comment box right now, what type of results that you committed to achieve in 2020. If you pay attention to my word, I'll say committed. Committed means what? You're going to do whatever it takes to get it done, right? So if you have that mentality, I'm rest assure you that Chinese metaphysics subjects, be it Yi Jing, 八字 achievement, we're able to help you to get there not only faster, but will be more effective of doing it, right? Because you no longer become the obstacle that preventing of getting what you want. So these are something that is very, very important for you to know, because a lot of people, you might need to write this down. A lot of people they don't know how to differentiate between bad luck and bad decision, right? So let me repeat this again. A lot of people cannot clearly differentiate what is bad luck and what is bad decision. Every time they discover that their career are suffering, then they actually thinking they are going through bad luck. But never occurred to them actually they make certain wrong decision in their process of pursuing the career, right? So maybe they decide not to improve themselves, or maybe they decide, late, go to work late every single day. So all these decisions probably that creating the negative end results in the end. But a lot of people think that is a bad luck, right? So the reason we learn Yi Jing, is to actually know, what is the cause of it. And if you know the cause, then you can make a better decision to change it. Okay, so now I see on the comment box right now, a lot of you here typing about what you committed to achieve. Some of you say that, like Joanne, you want health and wealth. Okay, some will say, I want to reinvent myself. Very good. Okay, Don Lin, very interesting. He commented, he want more tattoo. Okay, all right. So no matter what it is, what you want, as long as something that makes you happy, then it's a valid goal to achieve, right? Because what we want here is rather subjective, right? So it doesn't matter, because in the end, success is about getting what you want, right? And what you want may be different from someone else, right? So that's why I want to write down now the first thing you are committed to achieve in 2020. Yeah, write down right now. Yeah, and type it on the comment box, because while I'm talking to you, actually I'm reading all your comments, and I'm quite good in my memory. I can remember your name and your message as well. So probably next time if I meet you live, yeah, I can actually follow up with you. Okay. So, okay, I see so many comments coming in. Okay, so now let's going back what we are talking about just now. We're talking about changing destiny, right? So this part here is the one that we are looking at is, let me show the next slide here. This is a model I want you to follow through. Yeah, so because all of you here already told me, what you really want. So in order to change destiny or to actually creating key results in our life, so why I always say key results, right? If you work in a corporate world, it's called KPI, right? Key performance index. The reason we mention key means that the one that make all the difference. Yeah, we might want so many things in our life, but not all of them are in balance, correct? Some of them actually have make more impact to your happiness in long run compared to other goals here. So therefore, the key results that we want actually will determine our destiny. Okay, so just now you already typed on some of you want more health, some of you want more wealth, right? Some of you want a better relationship. You are actually describing this part, the results, correct or not? Right, so this is what we do from the start, correct or not? Whenever you go to a seminar or a self-improvement course, the first thing they'll ask you to do what? Write down your goals, right? So they actually ask you to commit on what are results you want to achieve, right? So once you write down just now, during the very brief exercise just now, once you wrote down all the goal that you want, and then the next question we would like to ask ourselves, what needs to happen, to create those results. Make sense, right? So if you want, I saw some of the comments just now, you want six packs, right? So in order to have six packs, what need to happen? Right, so maybe you need to actually get a personal fitness coach, or you might actually wash out on your diet. You need to get a nutritionist to help you to plan through that. So there are a lot of action need to commit, right? Just now you wrote down your results, so the results won't happen if there are no action, correct? Right? So if you look back through this model here, if you look back here, after you want to create certain results, there must be certain actions need to happen before you create that, right? If you want more wealth, there are certain action that you do that create that wealth, correct? Right? So be it running your own business or investment, there are certain actions. So the next question here is, bad action will create bad results. Don't you think so? Right? If you create if your actions or your strategy is correct, then you create a result that you wanted. If you take a wrong action, what you get is pain, right? Suffering, right? So therefore, we in our life here, in order to get the result that we wanted, we always like to take the right action, right? That's the reason as a partner coach, we actually help people to make the right action. And how do we create a right action or right strategy? By simply actually observing on the decision we make on daily basis, right? So the moment you wake up, right, every day, let me just ask you a question. The moment you wake up every day, so what do you decide what to feel on every single morning or not? Or what you're going to do on that day? Your state of mind. That is a decision, correct or not? Right? So your decision on where to work, what to do in your life, don't you think a lot of decisions we need to make on daily basis? Certain priority, like right now, right? So there's a pandemic happen. So now we also need to decide, where we should focus our energy on. Are we let the fear conquer us, or we continue to improve ourselves and expecting the best, right? So that is the decision you need to make. Why this is important? Because different decision you make in life will create different action, right? So if you make a wrong decision, therefore you create the wrong action, therefore you don't get the results. So when we talk about Yi Jing, we are not talking about on that decision level. Yeah, although a lot of people say, to make the right decision, you create your future. But we would like to ask one more level deeper question here is, what governs decision? Right. So what actually happened before you arrive into that decision? So if you look at the slide right now, it's the mind, right? It's what you think, it's your mindset. So if your mindset, if you are someone very positive, you are someone that are driven by higher purpose, you are someone have a bigger goals, don't you think that you don't need to worry much on your decision? Because all the decision you make on daily basis will be aligned to the mind, correct or not? Right? If your mind, let's say now you're very fearful, like recently you see a lot of people, they actually hood all the toilet people, right? Yeah, in the supermarket. So therefore, if they live in a very fearful state, don't you think they make a different decision in life? Right? Yeah. So they decide where to go, what to buy, how to spend their time right now, and therefore they take certain action. Yeah, maybe they buy a lot of stuff, and in result, they're out of stock in the market, right? So which in fact some people might not able to actually get certain things that they needed, so you see how it works here. So in the end here, whenever we're talking about creating results, a lot of people focusing on action, what I need to do next. Let me tell you, it won't last one, because that one is not a lasting change. Have you actually gone through a so-called maybe you commit to yourself here, you say that you want to lose weight, and then you have certain action, that 10 step you want to do, to lose weight. And after 2 weeks, you might lose the steam, right? You might lose your motivation, right? Because the reason is not because you don't have the discipline. It's because you're working on the action level just now. The action level. Yeah, let me show back the slide again. Yeah. So the action level. Yeah, this is the action. You see here, action level. A lot of people work at here, right? What I need to do or what to do. And then after that, people get more intelligent. Yeah, they're looking at, okay, so why not you tell me what to decide, right? But the thing is like this. Let's say you ask me about what career you should go, right? So let's say I tell you that you are very good in doing marketing. Yeah, but inside your mind, maybe you don't like marketing, right? So in the end, the decision will not stick for very long. Yeah, sooner or later, you also want to do something that you think that make you happy, right? So the decision in the end is not the keyword that create lasting change. Yeah, because all lasting change happen in the mind first, right? If someone want to lose weight, they must have a mindset of a slim people mindset, don't you think so? If someone want to create wealth, the first thing they want to change or to adopt is about creating a wealth mindset. Now, let me tell you just like this, on a wealth mindset here. So let me just ask you one question. This is what my mentor told me last time. He asked me, are you constantly focusing on creating more income, or you're constantly focusing on creating your net worth? And let me ask you this question. Let me throw this question to the comment box right now. On every day, in terms of financial aspect, in terms of growing your wealth, so are you constantly focusing on growing your income, or you're constantly focusing on growing your net worth? Right? Because think about this. A, growing your income. B is growing your net worth. Which one are you? Yeah, right. Type on the comment box right now. Yeah, which one is your main important focus? Okay, I'm looking at the comment box right now. Okay. So many people here. Okay, so let me tell the point here, right? So if you, don't you, even let's say 2% here, they have the same capability, they have the same attitude, they have the same qualification from the college or university. But if someone focusing on, if the only difference is someone is their mindset, one focusing on net worth, one focusing on the income. So tell me, in long run, who will become richer? Even with the same attitude or even the same parts chart, the same destiny chart, right? Of course, the B will be richer, right? So what is the key difference here? There is nothing to do with the action. It's nothing to do with the decision, because it starts with mindset first, right? Yeah, because that part is the one that create the key to shifting your destiny and creating different results. Yeah, so the reason I tell this, I want you to see the importance of the mind. So precisely, Yi Jing talking about that part. Yeah, talking about the mind part. Yeah, otherwise it's very hard for me to explain to you what Yi Jing is. So now, yeah, after I give you a series of example here, I hope that you're able to actually internalize a little bit understanding or the philosophy of Yi Jing, right? Is the mind. So therefore, Yi Jing contrarily to a lot of popular belief that think Yi Jing is a fortune telling system, actually it's not. Yeah, Yi Jing is a divination system. Yeah, because focus on the mind. It's talking about what life you should lead right now to create a better future. Right? There are certain mindset you can adopt right now to create the future that you wanted, but there are also certain mindset that you're having right now that create suffering as well. Right? So Yi Jing talking about that because they're talking about the cost. Because if the mindset is correct, automatically the decision will be correct. Agreed? Right? If you make the right decision, then the action, you need to work on the action because the right decision, they will follow with the right action already, correct or not? Right? And if you do the right action, don't you think the right result will follow through automatically? So therefore, Yi Jing system put a lot of emphasis on the mind, the root part. Yeah, they're talking about how to become the right person. Because if you're the right person, no matter which company you go, you'll be successful. Right? Because a lot of people ask a question like which company I should go or what type of industry I should join, of course, right? But if you live long enough, you know that it doesn't matter, much about what industry you join, everything, right? In the end, if you have the right attitude, yeah, and then you have the clear goal, you'll be successful in whatever industry. Yeah, that is the concept of Yi Jing. Okay, so once you understand this concept here, and then I think we can begin. Now we're just on the beginning, yeah, by the way. Yeah? A lot of people think we're already ending. No, it's just the beginning because a lot of you here are very, very new. I just explained to you what I did just now. I just explained to you, what is the Yi is, right? So once you know this, let me ask you, do you still interested to learn more about the Yi or not? Right? Now you know it's about mindset, right? It's about how to be the right person to create the right outcome. Right. So if this is something for you, if you're committed to become a better person, not 10 years from now, but starting today, this minute, this very second, you say, this is it. I won't settle for something for less. I'm going to actually put all my energy to commit to a better life. Type the word yes right now. I want to see how serious you are. Okay. I'm seeing that. Wow, very good. Okay. So now we shall continue. So Yi Jing is a very vast subject. Even the master that take like 50 years, even 50 years also not long enough for them. So then, but I'm going to share with you, how do we get started, right? The first step first, right? I know there's so many things to learn about Yi Jing, right? So therefore, today I specifically actually prepared, a step-by-step thing here to actually wow you, and you can learn Yi Jing, but you also can apply immediately. Don't you think so? I think that one is more practical, right? So we leave all the technicalities on the actual class. I don't want to bore you with all the technicals, but I will teach you a better way for you to understand this concept and how you apply this so you can see result now. It's not like 10 years from now, right? That's not the one we want, right? So we want to create results today. So how do we do this here? Let me show you back the slide here. I already prepared the step by step here. So today on this session here, I'm going to talk about these four things here. So that we arrange in sequence because if you do it in the right sequence, you can actually understand this better rather than you jump, on different aspect to the other. So these are the four things we're going to cover today. So first, we're going to talk about the power of change. And then second one, we're going to talk about the divination secrets. And then the third one, we also, since we're in crisis right now, how do we use Yi Jing to turn crisis into opportunity? And later on, and the last but not least, we're going to talk about a special announcement. So this is something that I'm very excited to share. So stay put with me. In the end, I rest assured you won't regret this. Okay, so now, let's start with the first step here, the power of change. Just I tell you that, Yi Jing talk a lot about how our inner mind working, because when we study energy, the universe actually happen also reflect on how we see the universe, right? So in the end, different mindset, we see the world differently, right? So the universe itself, there are no meaning until we actually put meaning to it. So the first concept, if you want to learn Yi Jing, is there are one mindset that if you're able to adopt this, then you discover that your life will be much more happier, you're less suffering, and you're able to endure changes as well. So let me share with you. That's what I call about the power of change. Because in Yi Jing, the first mindset or the philosophy of Yi Jing is what they subscribe to a notion that the whole universe are ever evolving, which means that is the world we are living right now is constantly changing, right? Even right now, we actually in the midst of the virus outbreak. Yeah, but think about this. Don't you think this will over one day soon? Right? If one day it will be over or not, because the world constantly changing. One day it will reach to a peak, and then it will start to actually go to the descending path already, right? So the first concept about Yi Jing, they understood the concept that everything in our life will never stay at the same spot. It will change. So the good news here is, if you have whatever problem you are having right now, you'll be going away. Yeah, someday it will go away. Don't you think so? No matter how serious your problem you're having right now, think about this, right? It will pass as well. Right? But the thing here is, whatever good things you have right now also go away one day, or not. Right? So some people say they think they're very pretty, they have six pack, right? One day it will go away. So the goal here is, is not to actually hang on things, but the reason we learn this part of Yi Jing is actually to know that everything constantly changing, transforming. So throughout this process, we want to become better. Right? We don't want to actually stagnant and then stuck there, right? We want to become better throughout the process, because all of us here we get old one day, right? But we want to be successful and more happier when we become older. Yeah, think about this. If you go to the school reunion, right, after maybe 10 years, 20 years, right, then you start to see how the time changes people, correct or not? Right, so it changes all of us here. So you see some of your classmates, maybe they used to be the A student in the classroom, but now maybe they have a different destiny right now, or not, because time changed people. So the Yi Jing, the reason you learn Yi Jing is not about to freeze the time, because time going to move anyway, right? Because changes is automatic, but progress is intentional. So the reason you learn Yi Jing is how do you become better throughout the process of transformation, and we are living in this universe of ever changing. How do we actually become better? That is the whole purpose for us to learn Yi Jing. Think about this. 5 years from now we surely arrive, right? The question now is where you think you'll be in the next 5 years. Yeah, so if you are actually contemplating this, then Yi Jing is the right system, because Yi Jing got one very, very so-called they have a very strong system in managing change. There's a strength of Yi Jing. So how do they manage the change here is they do it by actually giving, or actually creating a frame of all the event that's happening. They are happy event, they are sad event. Yeah, there are different type of things happening around us, right? So Yi Jing, they use an image to represent all the events, right? So let me show you what is the image of the Yi Jing. Yeah, this is the one. Have a look at here. Some of you already learned Yi Jing. Yeah, this is what we call the hexagram, right? So this is the image. There are a total of 64 images in Yi Jing that represent everything under this universe, be it a person, an event, an object, a feeling, or whatever we want in life will be represented by any of these 64 hexagrams. So on the screen right now here is what I just show you, one of the first hexagram here. Yeah, you see the first hexagram here? Okay, so, and let me show you all the total of these 64. Okay, now, these are the total of the 64 here. So these are, if you see on the screen right now, they cannot see it. Check. Yeah, so some of you, I saw your comments, some of you cannot see the screen, right? So you see on the screen right now, these are the total of the 64 hexagram. So which means that everything in the world will be represented by one of these hexagram. They're only 64. So, which means that for beginner, you might be feel a bit overwhelmed, right? So, do I need to do all these 64? But think about this: since all the whole universe, whether it be an event or people or feeling or objects, are represented by this 64 hexagram, which means that if you able to master or understand all these 64 hexagram, you understand life, right? And the moment you understand life, right, you can have a better control of your feeling, and you can actually direct this to a skill to change your destiny. Yeah, that is a whole new level thing here. So, and I say, John Santiago say, do you need to memorize all the 64 hexagram? Yeah, the answer to you here is no. Right? You don't need to memorize. Even me, when I learn Yi Jing here, I don't memorize. I just use it. And if you use it long enough, somehow, the moment you see the hexagram, you know what it is hexagram do, right? Just like you meet your colleagues. Some of you work in a multinational company. There's so many people inside. You might not be able to memorize them one by one on day one, right? But if you interact with your colleague long enough, maybe 1 month or 2 months, somehow automatically all this name will be synced in, right? So the goal here is not about memory. The goal here is about application. Yeah, so there's a keyword here. So if you see on the screen right now, these are the total of 64 hexagram, on Yi Jing. And each of these hexagram are talking about certain change in the universe. So there are 64 transformation of change in our life. Yeah, so one of it may be from employed now become unemployed, or some of you maybe certain emotion or certain disaster happen. So all these represent all these changes happen in our phase of our life, so these are the thing here. So now, once we understood there are 64 hexagram, so let's move on. We are ready for the next one. How do we make use of it? Right, just now I just shared with you there are 64 hexagram, right? So now we move on to step number 2 here. We're talking about divination secret. Yeah, as I told you just now, on the Yi Jing is about a divination, right? This divination basically means that there are certain process you can do to get insights from a situation. Yeah, that maybe now you're not sure, what you should do at this moment. Maybe you have problems in your personal life, or maybe a problem in your work, or whatever it is. Then the moment you do a divination, you want to get some insights and wisdom. Yeah, so just think that, if you have certain issue and you want to get help, who would you like to seek help or advice from? Of course, you want to seek help from the wise people, right? Someone who know it all. Right, then let me ask you, who is the best person, or the right person that know everything you can ask for? Because if you know Yi Jing, you know that 64 represent the whole universe, right? It's supposed to represent the gateway of all the wisdom, right? So if you know how to use Yi Jing, you actually tap into the infinite wisdom of the universe. So we use the word we call divination. Yeah, so divination is to get a response or a feedback from the universe. Right, so let me ask you, how many of you here think that the whole universe here is conspire to make you a better person? Even sometimes the event happen might not be something you like, but deep inside your heart, deep inside your soul, you knew that the whole universe are behind your back that supports you. Right, so yeah, so the word universe may be different to some of you. Some of you may refer the universe as creator. Some of you are talking about the divine guidance, whatever it is. So just use the term universe here, right? So which means that the whole Yi Jing system subscribe to the notion that the universe want you to become better, and sometimes they put a Goliath in your situation, so you will actually awaken the David within you. So that is the whole process of understand Yi Jing here. So if you truly believe that, which means that the universe constantly, sending message to all of us here to teach us how to make a thing better or have a right mindset to attach certain situation. But the thing here, sometimes some of us here have a better affinity with sixth sense, right? So sometimes they have a feeling like if you go to certain places, this is not the right place to go, this is dangerous. Some of us have this kind of sixth sense or intuition. Yeah, but some 90% or 95% of us here don't have that, or not, right? But we might have it during when we are small, that time we are children. But the moment we grow older, there are so many worries, right? Sometimes we actually suppress that intuition, or the natural state of a being, So therefore, Yi Jing, one of the reasons we learn Yi Jing is we try to actually derive or decode what are the message that the universe try to send to us to help us to become better, right? So if that is a way to do that, would you like to learn or not? Right, because the universe every second constantly send us a message, teach you how you should do this, you should do that. This is way you can create a better life. But we don't have a so-called mechanism or a portal for us to actually receive those message, right? So therefore, we learn the 64 hexagram because 64 hexagram is the language of the universe. So if we understand the 64 hexagram, we can do a divination to check what are the message that the universe try to send to us, right? So let me show you how we do this. So there's so many ways to derive the message. Just think about, regard this like an inbox. Whenever someone sends you an email, right, there's a message. But every time is your friend or maybe your boss will send you an email, right? But in divination means that you don't get that email from your friend. You don't get this from your boss. You get it from the energy or the sign of the universe, right? Some of you actually have that feeling you don't need to do this, but some of you don't have the sixth sense, you don't have the intuition, you don't have the gut feeling. Then the Yi Jing is a perfect tool for you to assess that domain. So how do we do this? Yeah, so there's so many ways of doing this, but I think one of the very easy way and practical way is to use the card. Yeah, so this is the card here. So this is the thing here. And if you can see on screen, I'm not sure whether the camera is reversed, so you can see it here. So there are 64 cards, right? But that's not the only way to deriving the hexagram here. There's so many ways. As long as it's random. Random means that you don't interfere, with the selection process. Yeah, let's say what I mean by this is like this. If let's say discover this hexagram is good, the quadrant hexagram is good, then you purposely put on top and then you pretend you don't see it, and then you pick the quadrant hexagram and you regard this as a good outcome, then you are actually bluffing yourself, right? The whole rules of Yi Jing here is to talking about random. As long you don't interfere with the selection process, then you can cast a gua. And that is your message that you can use for your situation here. So, and some of us, if you follow a traditional method, the old days when this system are invented, a lot of time they're using a yarrow stick, and or maybe I think a lot of you actually came across some people using a turtle shell, and then they put the 3 coins inside, right? So yes, as long. Yeah, then a lot of people will ask the question, which one is more accurate? Yeah, I would say all of them are accurate as long you do it on a random method, which means that you don't interfere with the outcome. So if I want to derive a hexagram right now, of course, I need to actually shuffle it as long, and then I just take one out of random, and then that's the card, right? So then we derive the meaning, out of the hexagram. That is the message from the universe for you. Then you do the reading. This is what we call divination, right? So you get what I mean here? Yeah, so this is the thing here. And some of you might ask, right, can I use a software to do this? Why not? Yeah, there are a lot of Yi Jing software online you can download to the app. Yeah, because the app also is a random, right? You click a button and then suddenly the hexagram coming out. That one you also can use. All right, so let's not too hung up with the method, because it doesn't matter. Because the concept of Yi is what? It's about change, right? It's about transformation. It's about with the flow. Yeah, the moment you do hung up with a specific method, which means that you're not aligning with the Yi. Yeah, because the whole universe talking about flow. What you are given, you just use it. That is the concept of Yi Jing. So once you know this, okay, so let's see. Do you want me to do a live divination right now? Yeah, some of you have a question, you can do it right now. I can do a live divination for you. Yeah, to add some value. Yeah, because some of you have certain question, maybe about your career, or maybe about your relationship or something about your wealth. If you have a specific question you want to ask right now, you type it on the comment box right now. I'm going to do the reading for you live. Yeah, so you better type it right now. You want to grab this opportunity. Yeah, so okay, I know a lot of you type yes, but you need to type a real question. Yeah, so you type a real question here right now. So then I'm going to actually I'm scan through your question right now. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so this question is from a Michelle Liu. I already broadcast this question on the right now, and then you say Michelle Liu asking, "Will my niece get healed from her current illness or not?" Okay, so that's the all information we had right now. We don't know what type of illness that she's having and all those things. But her question, Michelle Liu here, is will my niece actually get healed or not? So what we do is like this, right? So now since I have the card, I'm going to use the card. But let me ask you, what if I don't have the card? Can I still actually use my? Can I use the software? Yes, why not? The keyword here is what? As long as it's random, you don't interfere with the selection of the hexagram, then that is Yi Jing already. So now since I have the card, then I'm going to use the card. Okay, all right. So I don't see the card. I just simply pick one. Okay. Yeah, so as long as it's random. So now, okay, let me get a card here. So this to answer Michelle Liu question here. Okay, so I got the card here is called obstruction. You see the card here is obstruction. Yeah, so obstruction is a card here is indicate issues, is indicate our problems. Yeah, so the image of this is like a broken someone that with a broken leg try to climb a uphill mountain. So this person are fighting the so-called uphill battle. So which means that right now, yeah, the situation of the illness currently is not improving. Yeah, okay. But the question here is, Michelle Liu is asking, will her niece get healed from this illness, right? So in Yi Jing, there are one thing what we call a so-called the moving line or the transforming line, or the focus line. So that one will tell you the future, the probable outcome of the future. So which means that among there, you see there's a 6 line here. One of this line will be the focal point. Okay, so let's do it right now. So you just choose one number from 1 to 6. So let's say I do it through randomly. I choose a card right now. Okay, then I get number 5. Okay, number 5. So I count here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the 5 line is here. Okay, so the line here is talking about the 5th line here. 5th line normally is a good line. Yeah, because 5th line, which means that Michelle Liu, the so-called the chances of recovering, there will be a hope. There will be changes here, right? Because because just now I just selected here while I'm talking to you. Actually, I have a card here from 1 to 6 like this. That one determine the focus line. So just now I actually got the line number 5. So the line number 5 here is a great line to have. So which means that it could be a good outcome. So because if you learn Yi Jing later on, the 5th line here changing actually convert this hexagram become a humility hexagram. So humility hexagram here is both of these hexagram talking about the earth element. So earth element could be, one of the solution that your niece can look into. And earth element could do with something called alternative healing or something to do with so-called not the mainstream medicine. That one would be something that your niece can look into. And because the focus line is on the 5th line, this is the external line, which means that the solution that you have is actually beyond where you are staying right now. Yeah, because the 5th line here, this is external gua, and then this one is the kan gua. Kan gua is water. Water is the north. So probable solution that you can find for the niece would be on the north from where you are staying right now. So there still be chances. right? Because the fifth line are transforming, it become a humility hexagram, which means that there will be a chances of this getting healed, you know? Okay. All right. So, okay, Calista say that I don't understand how you got the fifth line. Okay, so you see this is a card here. So these are the numbers card. Yeah, if you see here, this is number card 6, 1, and 2. So all you need to do to have 6 card, and then you pick one out of the 6. That's it. Okay. All right. So which means that right now the chances is high. So like what Jason Wong say, you know, don't give up and then you do it, you know, because some of you just learn Yi Jing. The moment you got the line number 2 and or number 5, normally is a good outcome. Yeah, that's a shortcut, right? 2 and 5. Yeah, so this is the one here. Okay, you're welcome. Okay. All right. Okay, let me pick another one here. Let's do. Okay, are you guys enjoying this? Yeah, we do some live divination here. Okay. All right. So now because when I do divination, you can learn as well, you know, about Yi Jing. Yeah, some of you might actually interested to take this to the next level. Yeah, now this is the first the first education about Yi Jing for you. Now, okay, this question from Jade Wu. I would like to change career from healthcare to metaphysics puzzle coach. You have better money income than healthcare. Okay, all right. So what you need to do here is, her question actually is very, very direct and precise. She's asking, will I make more money being a puzzle coach compared to her current work in a healthcare or not, right? So now that's a card. Okay, some of you are very new here, right? You might actually don't know, how do I read all these things, right? How do I compare two choices here? Yeah, let me tell you. Yi Jing is a very, very flexible system. Yeah, I can do something like this. You see, let's say there are two questions, right? I want to know which one make more money or not. Okay, the first one I'm going to take for healthcare. Okay, healthcare, I got a great reward. Okay, it's good. So now I put it back for, remember, great reward, right? So now I take another card for puzzle coach. Okay, puzzle coach say it's water. Okay, so there are two cards here. So let me put it down here. So great reward. Where is a great reward? Okay. Okay, now this is great reward. This is water. This one is healthcare. This one is what? Puzzle coach, right? So which one do you think give her a better reward? Tell me. I want you to answer. Okay, now this one is healthcare. Even you don't know Yi Jing is okay. This one is water. Which one will you give her a better money? Tell me. Type it on the screen. Healthcare or puzzle coach? Okay, type it on the screen. I want to see your answer. Okay, a lot of great reward, healthcare, right? Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, now, yeah, let me tell you, your answer is correct because you notice that the healthcare is great reward, right? Compared to this puzzle coach here. But let me tell you, if you want to learn Yi Jing in a deeper level, yeah. First, I think your question is, your answer is correct. Healthcare is very obvious, right? That is the obvious answer. But once you learn Yi Jing in a deeper level, you understand something like this. You see, this great reward is fire and metal, right? Is on top is a Li Gua, bottom is a Chen Gua. It's still a countering element, which means that this one doesn't align with what you want to do in the end. It doesn't give you fulfillment, although you can make money. Okay, but you look at this water hexagram, on top is water, is Kan Gua, bottom also Kan Gua, right? So which means that this is something that make you truly happy, Jade, right? It's truly make you happy, make you fulfilled. Okay, maybe right now, it doesn't give you much money, but in long run, it will give you more money. Why? Because this one is top is water, bottom is water, means that your head and your mind and your heart is congruent. This is something that make you fulfill. So in order to pursue this path here, I would advise you, why not you combine both together? Right? You follow this path as a puzzle coach, but inside puzzle coach, you advise people on health aspect. Don't you think you can make use of two hexagrams at the same time, right? Yeah, then you got it. You get what I mean here? Right. So this is how we can use Yi Jing to actually plan this part out. So Jade here, since you like to become a puzzle coach, you'll be a puzzle coach, but you want to make more money, great reward on the puzzle coach career. you focus on help people to become healthy using 八字 or whatever subject you're learning, then you can have both at the same time. Fulfilling, you get fulfilled, and also you also get the money. Okay? Yeah, so that's how you actually read the chart. Oh wow, okay. Welcome. Okay, do you see how it works here? Do you like this? Yeah, it's very fun. I can do this all night long, So doing this here, but I want to give you the introduction or the concept. How do we actually do this? Yeah, this is how we do on the actual consult. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now, and let's. I know that since here there are 1,000 people are actually joining this online training right now. So of course I cannot answer all your question here, right? So a lot of you have different situation. Why not like this? Why not I do a mass divination so all of you here also can benefit? Are you okay with that? So now I'm actually talking to more than 1,000 people logging in right now. So, and there's so much I can do, right? If I answer one-on-one, what if, right? What if I actually do a mass divination so 1,000 people here logging in right now also can benefit from this? Okay. All right. So do you want this? I'm going to do it right now. So what I'm going to do right now in the next 1 minute, I'm going to do a mass divination. Okay, mass divination. So everyone here can actually get something, can take away something. So how do we do this? Okay, so let me just load the slide here. Okay, so now we're going to do this mass divination for you. So there are 64 hexagram. So we're talking about turning crisis into opportunity, right? Because right now we are going through a stage where everyone are fearful, and because we are handling a crisis such at a broad level, a global level. But inside every crisis, there will be opportunity as well, right? The certain mindset to adopt. Remember, we talked about Yi Jing. It's about having the right mindset. Because you have the right mindset, you can make a better decision and lead to a better action and therefore a better outcome. So therefore, the third thing here is going to talk about how do you turn crisis into opportunity. Okay, and how do we do this? I want to do a mass divination so all of you here will actually get something and what to do and the right perspective to see the situation you're in right now. So how do I do this? Right. So the way I do this here is to do this mass divination. I already prepared. There are 6 cards here, right? And each cards there are a trigram inside. Then you might ask, right? There are 64. How come there are 8 cards? Because I don't have time to explain all the 64 hexagram, right? So what do you do here? Because hexagram, there are 6 lines, right? So I break it down into 3 lines. If I break it down into 3 lines, there are only 8 possibilities here. So it's easy for me to do a mass divination. Compared to what I do on one-on-one just now, like I did with Jade, right? That one is 6 lines, right? Because it's one-on-one, I can do it. But if you want to do a mass divination, I will stick with, for practicality purpose here, I will stick with only 8 cards here. So what you need to do here is like this, because I'm the host here, I'm asking a question. I'm asking about the crisis right now we are facing, the outbreak and everything, right? How do we actually, what is the right thing to do right now? Right? To actually, because you think about this, right? This virus outbreak, we're going to end one day. Right? Someday we're going to end. But the question here is, once everything is over, where are you that time? Right? So we don't want to do nothing right now and then wait, everything will be fine, right? We want to continue to move forward, educate ourselves, improve ourselves. So the moment opportunity arrive, then we can actually reap it. Yeah, we want to be the first one, right? So how do we do this? So remember Yi Jing talking about the message from the universe. So now the message, if you want to know what the message in store for you on how to handle the crisis and find opportunity, what the first thing you need to do is to pick a card first. All right. So I already labeled the cards here: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Right. So you only can pick one card. Okay. Do it now. Just pick one card from these 8 cards here. I will give everyone here 30 seconds to do it. Okay, so you're going to type. I'm going to explain to you each of the card, what is each of the card means here. But for now, I want you to select only one card, and then if you can, you share your results on the message box here so I can see who you are. Okay, some of you selected A, some of you selected B, some of you selected C. Okay, wow, so many of you here. Okay, all right. So I think you get the gist, right? You selected one card. And now what you just do here is we are actually doing a divination Yi Jing process with you here. I'm doing a mass one. So first of all, I randomly pick 8 cards here, and then I ask you to choose. So you don't know the card, so it's considered random. So as long as it's random, then you can actually use this as a divination answer. You can regard this as a divination answer. Okay. Wow, so many of you. Cool. All right, so now let's review. Are you ready? Before I reveal the answer to you? Okay, let's start with A first. Okay, so how many of you here are selected A just now? Then you would like to pay attention to this. Okay, I'm going to review card by card right now. So if you selected A just now, let me review the answer. If you selected the A just now, you actually getting, I review the card here is a Li Gua. Yeah, which means that at this moment, as this crisis here, what you need to actually focusing on is to learn a new technology that can maybe in your work, or maybe on something or your business or something you do. This is the one that can get you to the next level, because everyone are having a downtime right now, right? They're so free. They have nothing to do. Right? They're waiting for something. Why not you do something right now? Educating yourself with how, technology can help you to transform your career or your business. Something new maybe, or maybe some new technology coming up, some new software, or a new way of doing things. So this one only applicable to who? For those just now that are selected A. Yeah, then this is a message from the universe to you. Maybe it's the right time to learn some digital marketing. Do you know that during this moment here, during this fear and the outbreak, do you realize that actually digital marketing actually make the most money? Because now everyone actually are moving their business online, right? So think about this. There's a gap there, So if you're able to fill up the gap, I would say they can create a lot of money. So if you're A, now is a time to look for digital transformation. Get it? Yeah, so, and this is very aligned to period 9. Yeah, some of you heard about period 9. So in period 9, IT, technology will be the mainstream. Yeah, they will be the next thing already. So if you're getting this hexagram, this trigram here, technology or the Li Gua, don't waste time. Now, right now, ask yourself, what are the new technology I can learn right now to actually transform my career or my business? And then do it after this session here. Okay? Yeah, this is a message from the Yi for you. Okay, now, if you're getting the B card, now this is the B card here. So if you're getting a B card, this card here is a Kan Gua for now, for this divination here. So the Kan Gua talking about the power of insights. So which means that this year, on this crisis, if you selected a B here, you actually encounter a lot of situation that you don't understand. Or maybe certain issue or certain challenges you don't understand. And the thing here is all this event that happened to you actually help you, to become better. And how do you become better is not by having more experience, because a lot of people might tell you they're actually going through 20 years of experience, but number of years that you had in terms of experience doesn't mean you actually become someone very successful, right? It's not the direct indicator, because let's say someone have 20 years of experience. It could mean that they have 20 years of failure experience. Don't you think so? But maybe some people, they only have 5 years, but if they have a lot of success experience, I think that 5 years are more better than the 20 years person who have 20 years of failure experience, right? So this Kan Gua here, how do we actually, what we need here is not just stop with experience, is how do we convert the experience into insights? Because all of us here, we encounter failure and challenges, right? But a lot of people, They just wait for a better year. Like this year, maybe they are actually got fired from the company. Then they secretly hope that maybe next year the destiny child will be better. Then they don't have that problem. Yeah, let me tell you. Yeah, if you don't actually convert your experience into insights, which means that you're not going to learn anything, you still think it's someone else's fault or astrology fault, then that problem will keep following you year after year. So this Kanqua here talking about you actually, whatever you encounter this year, I want to convert into insights by asking questions like this. What can I learn from this situation? Yeah, if this situation, how can I prevent this from happening again? What is so good about this situation? Yeah, that I can actually take as a learning experience. So if you ask yourself this question when you encounter issues, then you actually converting, your experience into insights. And from insights, later on, it will convert into wisdom. Yeah, this is what the Kanqua is all about. Okay, so if you're selected B, this would be your strategy to navigate through the crisis right now. Okay, because a lot of things will happen that doesn't make sense to you. It's okay, right? Because everything shall pass, yeah, sooner or later, right? So the thing here is you must learn something through all this incident here. So I want to pay attention to this angle if you selected card B. Okay. All right. So let's move on to card C. So if your card C is very simple, is much more easier than card B. If you selected card C, this is the time for you to actually become patient, which means that you don't overreact. Yeah, like if you see certain stock that fluctuates, then you actually overreact by actually buying something or asset from it. So this year is a patient year for you, and this is a great year for you to accumulate something. So which means it's an investment. So pay attention, learn how investment work. Go steady. Yeah, this gua here is about steady. It's about long term. Don't overreact. Don't rush into situation. Look at it long term, and then plan your move strategically. So this one is the Kun Gua, because this Kun Gua also represent assets as well. So this is a great year for you to focus on that part. Okay, all right, next one, D. Okay, if you're selected D, this is a great year for you to actually develop your influence power, because if you selected D, this is a Tui Gua. Tui Gua is the power of storytelling. So marketeer, basically a great marketeer is a great storyteller, right? So this year is a great year for you to use your creativity to influence maybe your job, or maybe you put it or contribute on your job or your business, or even you try to inspire people so they are not stay in their negative state. So this is a great year for you, because this year you have a lot of creative idea. You know how to translate certain very complex idea into a simple way that people can understand. So therefore, I'll call this the marketing genius. Right, so if you even you are not a marketeer, marketing is about influence. So this year, learn how to influence and inspire people, and the more you're doing that, then you yourself you inspired as well. Yeah, so this is the one that for D. If you selected D, so take this term, marketing genius. So how many cards we've gone through so far? We go through 4, right? So now let's do the other 4. Quick one. Okay, so how many of you here selected E just now? Yeah, so if you selected an E, so you're getting this Qian Gua, right? Qian Gua is represent this year you might actually get yourself in a situation where you need to make some tough decision. A right but a very tough decision, which means that a very unpopular decision, that you need to actually stand on your own feet and don't actually care too much about how people think about you. So this is a year of leadership for you. Yeah, what a leader do, think about this. Yeah, they're able to make a decision, or they have the courage to make certain tough decision that other people won't dare to do. Right, so that is the power of this. So this year you actually get into a lot of time, where you're in a position you need to make a lot of tough decisions. That's what a leader do. And if you're able to participate on these activities, you see your leadership ability will grow, and then you'll find a lot of opportunity during this tough time if you're getting this E. Okay, all right. So now The F. Okay, so this is about agile. So which means that if you selected the F, you need to be flexible, right? Think about this, right? If you want to be successful, a lot of people think is intelligence, right? Is the one that create our success in long run. Actually, is no, is the one that able to survive is the one that creates success. Who is a survivor? Think about this. Is the one that flexible. They are not rigid. They actually can change according to the flow. So they don't hold on to one idea for forever. They're willing to learn and bend and change their thinking. So we're talking about agile. So agility here is very, very important. So if you are selected a F card. So this is a card is talking about flexibility in terms of thinking. Yeah, so you don't actually too hung up with your own belief system, willing to learn something new, willing to open yourself, willing to adapt to the situation. For example, like maybe your company they are doing some changes on the structural level that you might not do the thing that you used to do. So, but now is a tough time, right? Be adaptive, blend with it first, So later on, then you can actually you can see the opportunity arises from that. So this is flexible is a keyword here. Okay, all right, so this is a G. This is the second last here, G card here. So if I have selected the G card, this is called time compression. Yeah, so what do I mean time compression? Time compression it basically means something like this. Anything if you can, let's say a project that normally you take like 7 days to complete it. So I want to challenge you to actually do it within 3 days. Yeah, that is what I call you compress the time. Okay, so this which means that speed is the key for you in 2020, right? So it's not about strategy. Yeah, it's about execution for you. So that's why we call the name here called time compression. Yeah, like let's say a work normally you take like 1 day to finish it. Now you want to challenge yourself to finish it within 1 hour. So this is a guideline for you. So the fact you selected G, somehow the universe think you are a bit slow right now, right? Otherwise you don't get this card, right? Yeah, think about this, right? So take this advice here and then, and then learn, how to ask yourself a question. How can I compress it, right? How do I make it faster? So I want you to learn on this. And it's possible. Yeah, you think about this, right? China can build a hospital within 10 days during the outbreak, right? But which normally people take years to do it, right? They can do it in 10 days one, Yeah, so you're getting a Zhenhua. I want you to think on that perspective. And the more you do this, you discover more opportunity come into your way during this crisis. Okay. All right. So next one here. Okay, so this one is about Gengua. Some you learn here is Gengua. So this one is about monetization here, which means that this year is a great year that you must learn how to convert your knowledge into money. Monetization, right? So this is a great year for you to do it. Let's say now you learned 八字 before. Just example, just now someone asked about 八字 course, right? So like Jade just now. So this is if you got a H here, H card here, which means that how you must ask yourself, how can I convert whatever I know right now into a product or service that can give value to others, and therefore I can ask money from it. Right? It's about value creation. So let's say you're a good chef, you can cook very well. So maybe it's a time for you to actually release an online program, teach people how to cook, right? Your dish here. So this is a card here that talking about value creation from the idea. Because learning only one part, only first part. The second part is how do you convert your knowledge into money or value? That is the part you need to learn this year if you're getting the H card. All right. So now I already go through all the 8 cards here. Ask yourself, don't you think the card you're getting actually 100% related to your situation right now? Right. So this is the answer. And this is the advice the universe want you to do, because the universe want you to be happy. They want you to be successful. They want you to be fulfilled as well. All right. So therefore, you should appreciate the message here and then you do something about it. Yeah. So let me ask you one question here. All of us here might go to a time that, we go to a seminar and then we get inspired. They say we want to do this. But after 1 week, after you go back home, then what do you do about it? We forget about those so-called feeling, right? And then we live back our same old life again. So don't let this happen again. Yeah. So once you have this message here, so I want you to actually follow through. And next time, yeah, that become better. Yeah, then you can actually feel free to share with me your success story or your journey throughout this Yi Jing process here. Then you will know that all this thing here is like connecting the dots to the future, right? So of course, a lot of people will say that we cannot connect the dot forwards, but we only can connecting the dots backward. But if Yi Jing, if you have faith, you actually can connecting the dots forward as well.